Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. I'd like to begin today's topic by sharing a personal story that just happened to me just a couple days ago, in the hopes that it might drive home and give you something more concrete to connect with in what I'm about to share, and help the message resonate a little bit more. I'm 50 years old. I've never had a tattoo, never wanted a tattoo, never had any desire to ever get a tattoo. Nothing against tattoos. I know people, I have friends of mine who have some of the most beautiful and impressive artwork tattooed on their body. While I admire them, it was never for me. And the reason why was because, truth be told, I was just a chicken shit. That's the bottom line. I was afraid. It's all out of fear. My son came to me the other day and said, "Hey, I want to go get a tattoo." We talked about it, told me what kind of tattoo he wanted. I said, "Okay, let's go get you a tattoo." He said, "Dad, you got to get a tattoo." Dude, I'm 50 years old. I don't need a tattoo. And again, truth be told, I was afraid. But then I realized this gave me the opportunity to demonstrate to my son one of the life lessons that it took me 46 years to learn: being open-minded and willing to change my thoughts. And moving that over into the world of addiction and recovery, I was upset at the fact I'd allowed myself to become an alcoholic. And again, this is long before I came back into the rooms. I realized long before I came back in the rooms that I was alcoholic. I could not control my drinking, that my life was out of control. It was unmanageable. I had taken step one long before I even knew step one even existed. And so if I had admitted I was powerless over my addiction, that I could not control my alcoholism, what's the answer? What's the solution? Is there a solution? There is. And that solution, as I found out by reading the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and especially in chapter 4, that solution, Bill Wilson clearly wrote, lack of power, that was our dilemma. And we had to find a power which was greater than you and greater than me. We had to find a spiritual connection. Obviously, my willpower wasn't sufficing. It wasn't working in order to keep me sober. My self-discipline and self-control obviously wasn't working in helping to stem my alcoholism and to control my drinking. How do I know? Because I spent 46 years trying it. 46 years trying it. And then it dawned on me, especially in the big book, and whenever I got to the part where it said, in the realm of the material, men's minds were fettered by superstition, tradition, and all sorts of fixed ideas. That's when it hit me. My problem in creating that spiritual connection, my problem was all in my thinking. I was basing my thinking about God and about spirituality. I was confusing spirituality with religion. And it hit me. That statement alone made me realize my own conception of God was based on what everybody in my atmosphere as a really, really young child, it was based entirely upon what my parents told me, what the pastors told me, what my friends told me, what my friends' parents told me, all from a really young age. And so when I finally came to that realization, when I read that part of the big book, it dawned on me. My whole conception of a higher power, a creative intelligence of the universe, a power greater than myself, whatever you want to call it, my whole conception was based on somebody else's ideas. And that brings me back to the point of the tattoo. Yes, by the way, I finally did get a tattoo. I did get a tattoo. Not very big, but again, it illustrates the point. The point is my thinking. I became open-minded in my early sobriety, in my early recovery. I was open-minded enough to say, my conception and idea of God is based on other people's ideas. Maybe what they shared with me is not right. Maybe what they shared with me is wrong. Maybe I can come up with my own thinking. And that's the key I want to drive home today. I had to be open-minded enough to accept and to at least consider alternate opinions, alternate ideas that were contrary to my own personally held beliefs. I had to be willing to entertain the thought that maybe I was wrong. And then I also had to be honest with the fact that, you know what? This makes a lot more rational sense than the long-held belief that I've been holding on to for all these years. Changing our thoughts. And again, the big book is very clear. We don't have a drinking problem. We don't have a drug problem. We have a thinking problem. Allowing ourselves to be open-minded enough and willing to at least entertain the idea that maybe our thoughts have been incorrect Well, that was the start and the opening of the gateway into my spirituality. And let me say this in closing. There is a huge difference between religion and spirituality. Religion is for people who are afraid to go to hell. Spirituality is for people who've already been there and have lived to tell about it. That's all the time I got for today. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys, absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative. We'll be talking again soon, guys. Remember, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.